just can't get rid of a bomb.
Hey, it's Will.
And this is Thomas.
And we're back from the great beyond not being around for a couple of weeks.
Hey, look, I had stuff going on.
Yeah, I know. Once in a while, you got to do that real world crap.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have to.
We all wish we didn't have to. So tonight, we're redoing our part one of Daredevil Born Again. Hey, Alan. We got Alan here. Big John's here. Yep. And we did it a couple weeks ago, and then Thomas had a problem with his internet, and so we had to scrap it and do it again. The Kickstarter that we previewed on that episode has wrapped up, and I deleted the episode, obviously. And it did fund, so congratulations to Insymmetry on another successful Kickstarter.
Sweet.
What we want to take a look at during the pre-show, we're going to show off anything we might have gotten in the last couple of weeks, and take a quick peek at Steve Rude's Nexus, the Battle for Thuneworld Miniseries.
Dude, I'm fixing to pre-order this.
Oh, yeah. This is a preview. This actually doesn't go live until tomorrow.
Oh, is it tomorrow? I got the link already.
So if you want the link to be able to log on tomorrow and either back it tomorrow or just have it remind you so you can get like the updates and see what's going on. It's only a 25-day campaign, so it's not even a full month. Makes me think he should have just done this in February because it was already a short month. But I'm glad he didn't, because I didn't have any money last month.
Yeah, he didn't.
Don't have any money.
He doesn't need a full month to fund his stuff.
Yeah. Like a week.
Probably.
So this is going to be in stores plus the Kickstarter.
Yes.
Right? The Kickstarter is going to get a bunch of really cool stuff. And the stores are going to get the books, and it's starting on Free Comic Book Day. So check with your local shop, if you have a local comic shop, and tell them, hey, Free Comic Book Day, the first part of Steve Rude's redone the Battle for Thuneworld miniseries is supposed to be doing it. Of course, he's doing everything again, writing, penciling, lettering, the whole.
And if I remember right, I was reading, isn't he? He's going to do it as 5 single issues, right?
5 single issues, and it's just regular comic book size.
Yes.
It's not Rude size, which I'm kind of disappointed in, but
hey,
they'll fit in a box.
Yeah. With all the rest of my Nexus comics.
Oh yeah, Steve says it's an honor to return to Nexus and tell this massive story on my own terms. Barrenless. The Battle for Thuneworld is packed with action, adventure, and the heart that has made Nexus a fan favorite for decades. I can't wait for readers to experience it. And with your help on Kickstarter, we can make this project a reality. So the Battle for Thuneworld. I flipped through this, and I kind of got a little upset.
Really?
Because that artist edition hardcover that I bought last time during the campaign, his last campaign, has dropped in price to $30.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, 5-issue miniseries, standard comic size, 6 5/8 by 10 1/4, 32 pages, full color. Issues 1 through 5. There will be a flexi disc, MP3, and MP4 The MP4 is actually the demo trailer that they were going to use when they were going to move forward with the Nexus animated series.
Which is awesome. It literally looks like it could have been done during the Hanna-Barbera time.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's very Johnny Quest. So,
yes.
So tomorrow, I guess this video will be, there'll be a snippet of it like live, not just an image. Now, originally, there were six covers for Thuneworld, but it's being redone. I guess the books were shorter. And this is all original Steve Rude art. 6 covers. Take your choice. They will only be $10,000 a piece during the campaign. Post-campaign, they will be $15,000.
And this is the original art, right?
That's the original Steve Rude art.
Yeah.
So the funding goal is $10,000. So when that's reached, everyone in the Kickstarter will get a signed number 1. So he's going to sign every single number 1 that goes out through the Kickstarter.
Sweet.
No charge. At $15K, Battle for Thuneworld issues 1 through 5. Everybody gets the print set of the covers for 1 through 5.
Really?
Yep.
See, I haven't. I saw this like a week or 2 ago before he had put all the stretch goals up.
It's been updated, and if you're on his mailing list, you get like an email, and it lets you go to. This is like the pre-launch page.
Yeah.
So none of this is live yet, right? And you can actually, make comments. Like if there's something that you don't see here that you'd like to have personally, or you think would be like a great thing, you put it in. They weigh it all together. They get enough people that want like a certain thing. They'll make it happen because money. Stretch goal number 3 is at $20K. The first print right here, on top of getting the print set included in your Kickstarter campaign for free, he's going to sign number 1 too. And I'm like, ooh, then I'll have 2 prints. Here it is. The Nexus Chronicles. Look familiar?
Yeah.
I loved showing it off when it was listed for $100, and on the campaign I got it for $50, and now it's only $30. Best price of the year. It's the first campaign of the year, Steve. Of course it's the best price of the year. I didn't sign up for the, grab your ankles and bend over price from last year. What happened?
Damn it, man. It was like 200 and something pages, though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's like 150, 180 pages, something like that. It's just gorgeous. You're going to wear a lobster bib when I look at it, though, because I drool a lot. At $40K, Nexus hoodie exclusive available for $75. $75 in small to 2XL, $100 for 3XL to 5XL. Steve Rude Studios on the front and Nexus on the back.
On the back.
Because you always want somebody watching your back.
Damn it.
At $50K, a VIP party, live poolside demo and studio tour, May 18th, 2024. Available for $1, limit 50.
Oh, sweet. That would be nice.
So you can
go to the dudes.
Go to the dudes. Also right here, released throughout 2022 is our 5 collector's edition comics, 8.5 by 11, published while Thuneworld was still in draft stages. This is just preview stuff that from what was coming.
Yeah.
So these are just like production pieces. The thumbnails, script, art.
His thumbnails are as good as other people's finished work.
His thumbnails are better than other people's finished work.
That's what I'm saying.
The Coming of Gormando. this is what we got. This was the
Yeah.
last campaign.
Yeah, we got the last
So if-
campaign,
So if you missed out on it, you can get the 9x12 trade paperback.
which is totally worth it.
Oh yeah, and some gorgeous art. Other add-ons include Sundra on a Hill, letter-sized art print, the Battle for Thuneworld 20x30 promo poster.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, please. Then he's got Thuneworld CGC signatures, The Coming of Gormando, which we just got in the last campaign.
Yep.
It says hardcover, but the last one said hardcover too. So I'd have to drop an email to be like, okay, so I got the trade the last time and it said hardcover. Is this a hardcover or just the trade? I think it's just the trade, not the actual hardcover.
Yeah.
11x17 Nexus character sketch commission. And this is Steve holding up a double spread page that will appear in the first Thuneworld book there, which is drop dead gorgeous, of course, because it's the dude. So the team is the dude, Mrs. Dude, his gorgeous daughter does all the marketing for him, and the assistant, Lynn.
That's it.
Estimated for one book, estimated shipping charges for one book stateside is $5. The lovely country above us, Canada, is $15. Europe is $25. China is $25. Australia is $25. East Asia is $27. USA minor, those are our outside land masses.
Yeah.
For 15 to 27, and the rest of the world is 25 to 32. Handle with care. Do not bend, fold, or crush.
And that is on all of his stuff.
Yeah, and I think this has just got everybody slapping multiple, like, do not fold, bend, or crush stickers all over the book. Go, wow, I don't want to tear that one.
Yeah.
And that's it. That goes live tomorrow. And there was one more that I wanted to give a honorable mention to, because there's only a few days left. I sent this. I DM'd this to you. I think I sent it to Big John to take a look at.
I probably
early Tim Sale from the late great Tim Sale. Billy 99 with 2 eyes.
Yeah.
200-page hardcover. It's early Tim Sale work, but you look at it and you know it's Tim Sale.
You know it's Tim Sale.
Yeah. 200 pages. You can get the digital PDF for $20. The hardcover is only $45. There's obviously optional add-ons. There's like a sticker set with Tim's art on it. There's a slipcase book and more, so it loads up a whole bunch of stuff. Slipcase, 3 stickers, 3 prints, and digital PDF. Shipping prices will be added with backer kit survey. So you can get that's a nice looking slipcase, and it's a 200-page book. So, I mean, if you like slipcases and something that's going to present nice on your shelf, $75 isn't bad for a 200-page book, because this is like close to the size of an omnibus. So
yeah.
All right. So now that we get that out of the way, we have sharing stuff. I don't know if I showed this the last time or not, but we deleted that video. My girlfriend got me Batman the Animated Happy Valentine's Day Pops 4-pack.
No, I didn't know that.
And it's just, you open it up and it's like tiny little pops. You got to keep them in the box because they got these little tiny feet and no base. And I looked at it, and me being me, Yep, I'm going there already. It's been a few weeks. This just looks like Batman pulling a train on the bad bitches from Gotham.
Oh my God.
And I got the I was telling you about the book from the series from the UK called not Weezer, Geezer.
Yeah.
It's a spoof on Weezer.
Yeah.
And it came in, and it's cool. There's a record store in New York because they go on tour opening up for another band. And they made up record store bags.
Oh, cool.
And the record store is used and abused, vinyl new and old, bought and sold. No cheese.
Damn it.
And the books are cool. I had a lot of fun reading these. I mean, if you like a lot of like goofy band stuff, like and I can't think of the name of the movie, so it's killing me now. The books are made in the size of 45 records.
Oh,
they're
really?
square.
The little ones? The art's really nice.
Yep. And it's got all the world building is done in rock and roll magazines as articles. It gives you like the whole cast of characters, and it's got like all kinds of cool stuff like that. And the Stella Brady is a reporter, and she has a column called the Union Jacksy. And she's basically giving you like the whole lowdown on the band before and after. And this is when they get to New York.
I love New York.
It was hilarious. It's done by Off Register Press, and they're listed in the book. But this is just like, you know, it's good art. The artist has actually worked for Marvel and DC, like over the years.
Yeah.
And got a couple of things like as free giveaways plus the bag. You got the Geezer logo sticker, and there's like a pack of 6 cards here, and they're fake album covers for other fictional bands in the book. And I guess they made like a couple of dozen of them, and they just randomly, you know, put X amount in a bag, and you know, they shuffle them up and send them off, so somebody will get like different ones and stuff. But that's all I got for the pre-show this week.
Well, I found something pretty cool. So we have done some creepy and eerie magazines on the trade. Okay. This is actually by Harris Comics. Remember them?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you see it's regular comic size, but this is a creepy, kind of like the classic years. Yeah. And it's kind of like a best of best from the creepy magazine. And it's just really cool. It's comic size, so it makes it a little easier to read. But then you've got, you know, the first damn story, besides past the introduction, is one that I missed, and it's called Werewolf by Frazetta.
Ooh.
So it's an entire Frazetta story. And of course, they're, you know, gorgeous Frazetta art fighting a freaking werewolf. But you've got, you've got Werewolf by Frazetta, Dark House of Dreams by Angela Torres, The Coffin of Dracula by Reed Crandall, The River by Johnny Craig, page 42. I know you'll want to see this one. You ready? Page 42 is Curse of the Vampire by Neil Adams.
Nice.
Number 50 is Grave Undertaking by Alex Toth.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, holy crap. 56, a whopping 6 pages later, Fitting Punishment by, get this, I didn't know he did any work for them, but Fitting Punishment, Gene Colan.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know Colan did anything for Creepy. Heritage of Horror by Donald Norman. The Adventure of the German Student by Archie Goodwin and Jerry Grandley. Image of Bluebeard by Joe Orlando. Who else? Oh, Second Chance by Steve Ditka. Wardrobe of Monsters by Gary Morrow. There's another Alex Toth story in here. There's a John Severin story. Oh my God. I missed this one. The Success Story, page 125, is by Al Williamson.
Wow.
Yeah, Al Williamson of freaking Flash Gordon fame. But then here's one that also I overlooked, I guess. Now that you read it, look at this. I'll probably have to read this tonight before I go to bed. Stories by Archie Goodwin and the art. We've talked about this guy before, or girl. He changed later on in life, by Jeff Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, he was friends with all three of them, with Kaluta, Wrightston, and oh my God, was it Williamson? Was the fourth guy? And they always said that he could have been the best of the whole lot. That freaky monster. But I thought it was really cool. I did not know Harris did that. And I also got, I don't have them out, but Harris published at the same time they did this, they published Vampirella, like the classic years.
Yeah.
In comic form, but all the stories are in color. Yes. 3 issues. And it's like the best ones. It's Frazetta, it's Adams, it's, you know, it's all of the best people. It's Jose Gonzalez. All of them are Vampirella, but it's all been colorized.
Nice.
Yeah. But cool. All right, you ready?
We're going to get to
Born Again. I know you said before the House of Mouse messes it up.
Yeah.
And I know the Punisher is slotted to be in the mini, but he's not in Born Again.
Nope.
Not at all, people. And of course, I did include the ever classic cover that most of the copies have.
Yeah.
Just because it's incredible.
Well, let me remove my eyes so I can read something in the book, because in the back of the hardcover that I've got,
yeah,
they screw up and they put the lead-in story with the one that you sent me with
at the very end.
Yeah, with Marvin at the very end, which I thought was weird. I'm like, oh, this stuff already happened. Stop messing with the order. You number the book so you know what in order to read them in.
Yeah.
So there were like a few different versions of that image.
Yeah. Oh, they're all in the back of the book you have?
They're in the back of this. One is just a blurb. I think it's possibly the back cover, because it's that stained glass window, but it's all in red with a black background. And there's like a cutout in the middle where it says, "And I have shown him that a man without hope is a man without fear, which is a quote from Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
But this image was shown in Marvel Comics Presents Daredevil Born Again from 1987, which has got more than this cover because it's got two other stained glass windows on either side, which are like, giveaways. And then there's another one, cover the original Transparency by Musicelli, had like made it look like it was painted. So there was like white coming around like the border.
Okay.
Like paint strokes in different, the same center panel, but two different stained glass windows. And then there's another one that's the same image, but the stained glass windows are kind of like clear. There's no color to them. And that was from the 7th printing in 2005.
Oh my God.
And the one that I have, they put all the covers for the main storyline in the back.
Yeah.
This way. Here we go.
Yeah. I think my copy actually has them interweaved in there.
Yeah. This has them all. And then there's a, it talks about the corrected panel from the final issue, God and Country.
Yeah.
And there's like notes on it, because Shooter wanted it one way and they wanted it a different way. There's a bunch of layouts from Maz for the issue, the story issue of Purgatory. And it's like the pencils for the entire issue.
Oh, at the back?
In the back. It's not finished pencils. It's just, the roughs.
Yeah, the roughs.
The entire script for that issue is in here. And after the script, they just put that image.
Oh, cool.
And they're all listed on the back.
They just reprinted it again. But I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned it to you. I saw it a while back because it come up for sale again, and I was thinking about ordering it. But IDW does the artist editions, right?
Yeah.
And they're super expensive. They're $200, $300 a pop. They're gigantic. They're
like 150 to 200 depending.
Yeah, and they're actual published the same size as the original art.
Yeah.
Well, they do a smaller copy, a smaller version that's called the Artisan Edition. And the Artisan Editions are they're like 8 by 12. They're not they're bigger than a normal comic, but not as big as the Artist Editions.
Yeah.
But they're essentially the same thing. They're the original pencil work and the story. And they just did Born Again. They reprinted Born Again, the Artisan Edition. So you can spend, it's like $40 and you can buy it and you get an oversized copy of Born Again. But instead of having the finished art and colors, it's just the finished pencils and birds. Inks, yeah. Or maybe not even inks. And so I've really been thinking about getting one of those, just to see what that art looks like.
I actually want to do some background on Born Again and Killing Joke to see which one has actually been reprinted more times in various editions.
It's probably going to be Killing Joke.
I think it's going to be Killing Joke because They just announced that they're reprinting Killing Joke again, like in a leather-bound slipcase edition.
Oh God. Oh.
Because the big two are desperate for money.
I love the Killing Joke's a great story. We read it not too long ago. It's a lot better than I remember, but I still
think that backup story.
Yeah, the backup story. I just think it's overrated, but that's me.
Because it's so overhyped.
I guess. I mean, you remember Under the Red Hood?
Yeah.
By Winnick? Amazing. Nobody ever mentions it. Nobody. Read it. It's great. But so yeah, that's the original cover. And this is the issue you were talking about, if folks weren't paying attention. Born Again actually starts with Purgatory at 227, but this is the first time, 226 is the first time that Miller and Mazzucchelli worked together on Daredevil. And Miller is working with O'Neill. O'Neill is actually leaving the run at this point. Mm-hmm. I think he actually comes back for a little bit after Born Again, but I have to go look. But the thing that's so amazing about this time period of Daredevil to me is you've got Frank Miller and Klaus Janson doing Daredevil for a huge amount of time. Oh, and then there's a little break, and then O'Neill and Mazzucchelli do like 10 or 12 issues that are probably some of the best Daredevil comics ever written. I mean, 220 and 214 are two of my favorite Daredevil comics, and they're both in there. 220 we did like 3 years ago when we first started the podcast. That's the one where Heather hangs herself.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And it's, for a comic, it's rough. And then 214 is the one where the Vulture is just trying to damn make it out of the damn city and make some kind of retirement, and Daredevil gets in the way and they get in a huge fight. And then, you know, O'Neill steps aside for Miller again for the seminal Daredevil story, I guess.
Yeah.
But you got Cool Gladiator on the cover. I have a first Gladiator. Do you know that? Yep. All the way back in Daredevil 18. That's how long the man's been around. But yeah, it opens, and I had forgotten this part until we read it, or I read it a while back. And he's like, dude, he hasn't been working as a damn criminal or anything for years. Yeah. Melvin's really out of shape, and he's got mental problems as it is. I mean, all kind of emotional problems. And he's robbing a damn jewelry store. And of course, he's cleaning these guys' clock, even out of shape. He's still way stronger than these guys.
Yeah.
And we find out as he knocks the hell out of these guys and steals some. He complains about the costume, how tight it is, and it's making him sweat and hard to breathe. And then he takes the jewels that he stole, and after he beats up the guards, and he leaves, and he says, I can't think about it now. And of course, the story then pans back to they say her name, and it's Gloriana. That's it. There it is.
Yeah.
To Gloriana, who's coming to meet Foggy. He's cleaning out the damn office while Daredevil's been dealing with everything in his superhero life. The frickin' the damn law practice fell apart.
Yeah, belly
fell apart. Went belly up. And she's coming to see Foggy, who's cleaning out the office. And, of course, they run into each other. And he's just so upset. And, of course, she's trying to look for Matt. And he doesn't know where the hell he is. I don't know where he is. He hasn't been coming by the office. And we find out through the secretary that Melvin, or the Gladiator, has robbed a jewelry store. And Foggy actually gets upset, because he helped get him off. He helped get him out of prison.
Yeah, him and Matt got Melvin a deal, and he swore up and down he'd never do this again. We find out later in the issue why he did it.
Yeah, why he's done it.
We also found out he was complaining about the outfit, but it turns out that's not even his outfit.
No, it's just like it's a freaking just a costume.
Yeah, it's it's out of like Party City or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's
he runs a costume
it.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
He runs a costume show, a shop. So it's something he pulled off the shelf, but his real costume is not there. But yeah, so Foggy just gets upset, and he's like, I can't believe it. Of course, Gloriana's there. I would have loved to talk to, Matt, but he's not here. And see what was happening in his mind. And of course, Foggy just blows her off. He says, I don't know. And then we find out that Matt is actually like just sulking, which is one of the things that Daredevil does best. Batman broods, Daredevil sulks.
And he seems to sulk the most when he has backflashes of Stick.
Yeah, that. Damn it. Yeah.
He's sulking, but in that top panel, he's got that Wally West look on his face.
He does. What's amazing is it shows you how consistent the comics work, because he's not only sulking, he's going on about everything, his senses, and Gloriana and the damn law practice falling apart, and Foggy couldn't keep it up, and he's blaming Foggy, and then he's blaming himself. And then in the top panel, yeah, he's like, my partner couldn't pick up a little slack and keep the law firm going. And Heather. So Heather, who we were just talking about in 220, he's upset, that she killed herself. This on top of everything else. And then if you go back like 3 issues before this was the damn, Secret Wars 2 issue. Mm-hmm. Where the Beyonder gives him sight for a little while, and he has to give it up because he can't. It's overwhelming him. And of course, yeah. Now he's thinking about Stick. There's 2 sides to you, punk. One studies and reads, the other trains and fights. Problem is, ain't neither of them your sides. So essentially, Stick's telling him he hasn't become his own man.
Yeah.
He's his dad's, he's his dad's son. Yeah. You do what your dad told you, even what I tell you, even the women you latch on to, they just make things right or wrong. You just obey. Stop gritting your teeth. You'll need them. Everybody's up to...
The women he latches on to never make anything better for him.
No, it's always worse. Everything's up to somebody else with you, but somebody else is always to blame. You'll never be what you could be, because you know in your gut that if you were, there'd be nobody big enough to pat you on your head. So essentially, Stick says, if you get off your ass and quit blaming everybody else, you could be, the best. But you won't do it because there'll be no one there to give you a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rough. So as he's sulking, he finally hears, damn police siren, breaks him out of it. And he hears over the radio, all points, Melvin Potter is armed and dangerous. And this is the thing, he gets up and he says, Daredevil's like, everyone has betrayed him and left him. And he's, not you too, Melvin. You promised. I worked my tail to the bone. If you betrayed me like everybody else. So he goes off. He's just going to beat the hell out of Melvin because he says Melvin's betrayed him.
Yep.
And then we find out that here's Betsy Beatty. This is Melvin's like girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever you want to call it. And she's been kidnapped. And the kidnappers are beating the hell out of her. And they're wanting, they're torturing her, and they're trying to make Melvin steal a whole bunch of money and bring it to them. so that she can actually, be let go. But the thing is, they're afraid they're actually going to kill her. Some of them are, but she doesn't know where she is until she gets knocked down and she sees the Chrysler building in the distance. And of course, here's Melvin back at his place. I did see this panel, and it looks really funny that the damn shower is there in the bedroom. I guess it's terrible. And he had Popeye's chicken for lunch after he robbed a jewelry store.
Mm. That's a fighting man's food.
Popeye's chicken. It's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
So Daredevil actually heads over to Melvin's. He goes straight to the costume shop because that's where he expects him to be. And of course, he sees there's some actual criminals in there trying to rob the costume shop because they figure Melvin's going to be out of town because, now he's wanted by the police. Daredevil instead just beats the hell out of them. And of course, one of them tells him, he says, not as limp as you'll be unless you tell me what Potter's plans is. He says, what? You know me, Devil. I'm a heist man. You have apprehended me in committing of a heist. So what's the thing? So he heads out and he finds out that Melvin's not there and is really up to something. So he goes on to look and see what it is. As we find that Foggy and Gloriana are actually getting a lot closer, and they are all talking about Matt and everything else over dinner. There is a weird little scene in here, where Foggy actually, Gloriana gets so upset she's tearing up a damn napkin because she's mad at Matt. And Foggy reaches out and touches her, and then he realizes maybe I shouldn't because she's actually Matt's girlfriend. Of course, Matt's still out. He hasn't even returned back to the house yet. Goes into the damn law firm and freaking just vandalizes it because he hasn't got all this stuff out. Sets off the alarm. Oh, excuse me, I got something to drink. Even they go on a night walk around the park. They're around Columbia University. Foggy does, and he just tells her how Matt was back in school. I never noticed how romantic this place was. Columbia, she's strange. That's how it works because he's with her. Finally, Daredevil goes back to his damn house to answer the phone, and Melvin's called him looking for help. If you know Daredevil, you could ask him to come to the Bibney Museum. I just need to tell him I'm sorry. So sorry, are you, Melvin, after all I've done for you? So now Daredevil heads to the damn museum where Melvin Potter is stealing jewels from it. And, I got your message. Just in case you're wondering, the answers are no and yes. No, I don't want to hear your excuses. And yes, I'm here to kick your face in. And of course, Melvin is so out of shape that Daredevil really does trounce him.
Man, I wish I was that out of shape.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's bad is he even hits him once. He says he got the guts, Daredevil's playing with him. He gets the guts or gets Melvin riled up enough to hit him. And when he does, he's like, even as strong as he hit me, it's not very, it's not strong at all. And finally, Daredevil puts an end to it. And, there he is. Melvin finally spills the guts. He says, don't blame me. I've been scared. They're holding Betsy and they're going to kill her. They said I had to steal $1 million or they'd kill her. So, I couldn't even put on the costume on the old one. He's tried to, and it's all I got was sick. You want to lock me up? Go ahead, but help Betsy. And Melvin's so upset, he starts crying. And Daredevil realizes, I jumped straight to the conclusion that he had betrayed me. Did it, threw everything I did away, and I should have come to him first. So now he's going to go and figure out what the hell is. So he asked Melvin, where are you supposed to meet these guys, and give them the money. And he goes to the underneath the river. And when he does, you know, he drops off the package, and Daredevil, of course, has no problem following the guys. He follows them to their hideout and then calls Melvin. This is cool. He calls Melvin and says, hey, I've got the guys that have Betsy. Do you want a piece of them? You can come and, you know, it'll be a piece of cake. We'll beat the hell out of them. Daredevil's going to take his anger out, and he's offering Potter a chance to do the same thing. And he agrees. But when they show up, Daredevil just lays into them. And Melvin is going to. He picks one up. He's like, you know, he calls him a damn worm. And then when he sees the guys, terrified, and he sees Betsy, sees what he's about to do, and he stops. He just throws the guy away and doesn't even hit anybody. He just walks right across the freaking room to Betsy, and Daredevil beats the hell out of him, and he just sits there, and she gets up and leaves with him. And Matt's like, you know, I'm ready for more, but there's nobody left. And he's so upset he can't even hear what the hell they say, but they just leave. And of course, he turns them into the law. Yeah, they seem to thank me. Sounds come from my mouth. I hope I say the right things. They leave, and I'm alone with my knuckles bleeding. So the reason I think they put that one first, and why I was saying we need to read it, is one, it's Daredevil, it's Miller's and Mazzucchelli's first work on Daredevil. But the other thing is the fact that Matt is constantly talking about everybody who freaking betrays him in his life, and everybody leaves him, you know, destroys it. And then we start with Daredevil 227, and I think you said, was it like a couple weeks ago when we did the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
The first page has Judas on it. She's on the very first page.
Crackhead.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, for the people who aren't familiar, this is Karen Page. This is the first love life, Daredevil's first love. The one that Foggy had the hots for, Matt had the hots for. She really had the hots for Matt, and the fact that he was blind, you know, she wanted to protect him. She didn't see Foggy at all, even though he wanted her for everything. They dated for, you know, I don't know, years. And then finally she disappeared. She left.
Yeah.
Come to find out, she's been all over the world and is now in South America, where she has been making adult films and is pretty much hooked on like heroin or something.
Yeah.
And she tells this drug dealer here, he says, she said, looks like something, it takes it to the States and you'll get $1 million for it. The girl will say anything when she's hungry, things I hear. Want a shot? No, I didn't think so. Not a shot of booze anyway. Daredevil, I said it. I said his name. And he's got another name, and it's written down in here. You want it or not. So, story passes. We find out that there's a drug dealer there in like Mexico City or East Coast somewhere who gets the letter that has Daredevil's name in it. And he sends it up to Wilson Fisk. And he, of course, he's out on his yacht, you know, search from Mexico. It might be anything. My cousin down there, Turno, he said he wouldn't bring it up, but you said you keep the lines open for this. So Kingpin has put rumors out that he'll pay for Daredevil's secret identity. And apparently it finally comes up. a local pusher down there says that he met Daredevil's old lady, his old lady. I mean, she says his for an armful, she sold his name, his real name. Fist is like, I know what you mean. Give it to me. And everyone else leaves except for the one guy. What's his name? Wesley. Yeah. Everyone's nice to Wesley. Turn the yacht back to New York. Locate everyone who's touched this envelope or spoken to anyone who has, and await a kill order. In the meantime, I shall test the information. And then, dude, I didn't realize this much time passes. He's like 6 months past.
Yeah.
So he really tests it. And there it is. Daredevil's asleep in his bed. And of course, he gets up. He really still doesn't have a job. He's looking for a job. Gets up and goes around, lay off the crime fighting to my knuckles heal. He heads to the mailbox, and he's actually looking for like a acceptance letter. And there is nobody there. So he's been applying for all these jobs at law firms and everything else, but no one. And then finally, I noticed from the Internal Revenue Service that my tax files are being audited and that every penny I have is frozen until the audit is complete. All of this before coffee.
Wow.
Yeah, it sucks. I've been trying to call you. Hey, Matt, I just got something from the IRS. You don't seem to be home much. Never home for me. So he actually calls his accountant. What do you mean, Sid? You've been my accountant for you can't mean this, Sid. They're lying to you. My records are spotless. So somebody's told his accountant that he's been, cleaning money or something. And he's just like, it doesn't make any sense. So he finally, while he's listening to his mail, he gets out. Then there's a knock at the door, and it's a subpoena. They're demanding my presence at a grand jury hearing, not as a witness. He goes uptown, and there he is. He says, if the charge had been made by any other cop, any other Matthew, but Nicholas Manois, 20 years of impeccable performance. I know his record. Far be it from me to judge you, but this is a sworn statement from Lieutenant Manos. He says he saw you pay a witness to perjure himself in the Hendricks case. I can't believe he would do this. We never had this conversation, Matt. So he heads out. We find out he's being investigated by the grand jury for witness tampering. So he's going to go see the police officer who did it. Takes it out on this damn secretary as she leaves.
Right after his friend told him not to approach him.
Yeah.
Don't even talk to that cop.
Don't. Yeah, and you're going to go. And of course, he heads out. But as night falls, we find out that Gloriana and Foggy have been seeing a little bit more of each other, and he shows up at her apartment, which has been ransacked. So somebody was there looking for something. Yeah. And, of course, she's just so upset. The city is hateful. Everybody's here. It's all broken. I just can't stay here. So Foggy takes her home. Meanwhile,
wow.
Yeah. Damn it.
Go, Foggy, go.
He needs to. Now we get to Ben Urich, who is he's actually getting stuff from the paper. He says, check this one out for me. Sure, I've got nothing but time. It's disguised as Associated Press wire that says Matt Murdock faces a host of criminal charges including bribery, perjury, and misconduct. Max Murdock is the most honest man I heard. And of course, he calls Matt to see. And he's like, yeah, can you trust me? And of course, Matt just laughs at him because he's having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And there it is.
he got to hear two of the scariest governmental words in the form of grand jury. The only thing scarier is when somebody knocks on your door and says, "Hi, we're from the government. We're here to help."
Yeah, IRS, exactly. So now the bank is calling him as he gets back to his house, and they're threatening to foreclose on his dang brownstone because he hasn't paid the mortgage. And he says, "I've paid the mortgage. I sent you the bills, the checks and everything," which he has proof of, but they're like, "We didn't receive them. We're going to foreclose on you." But I've got them. He says, "It doesn't matter. We have yet to receive payment. We're going to foreclose on it." Finally, he's so upset. He just gets in his damn costume and heads out. And of course, he's going to go to see the police officer that's did his sworn statement that he's been tampering with witnesses.
But that's okay. He's going in his jammies.
He's going in his jammies. While Foggy and Gloriana are like, there again. They shouldn't. So Daredevil finally breaks in. 20 years, Nick. Why start lying now? Get out of my home. It's all wrong. I know you. And I have to know why you're trying to ruin Matt Murdock. And Nick, of course, flinches and gets mad. He breaks a damn wine bottle. He says, "I feel the heat on his neck and his flush of rage." And of course, he attacks him, and Daredevil knocks the hell out of him and leaves. But as soon as he leaves, Nick makes a call. He says, "Yeah, he showed up. Daredevil. I did just what you said about my boy. The doctor says he needs that treatment soon." So we find out somebody's got something over Nick. His kid's sick, and he doesn't have the damn money for the doctors.
Yeah.
And of course, Matt hears it because he doesn't leave. He just stays outside. So now he can't figure out who's on the other end of the line, but he knows why Nick is lying.
Yeah.
So he heads off to the house. When he gets back to the house, the power's been cut off because they haven't got the damn payments. The phone is cut off because they haven't got the payments. And he just goes to bed because all of the money he has is frozen. And he can't pay a damn thing because he's under audit.
No electric, no gas, no phone.
No phone, no house.
Not a single luxury.
Nothing.
Like Robinson Crusoe.
Damn it. Only in the middle of New York.
Yeah.
Of course, now as the sun rises, Foggy was good enough of a gentleman to sleep on the couch in what looks more like a love seat because his feet are curled up. And he wakes up to the smell of biscuits and eggs and everything and bacon. And he's like, "Oh, it must be an angel." And then he sees Gloriana cooking for him, and she smiles at him because she notices that. And of course, Matt calls and finds out that his girlfriend is at his best friend's house. So guess who else is like pooping on him? Yep. And of course, Foggy does get the phone, and he finds out grand jury, and he's listening to everything that's going on, and it's terrible. And of course, as Daredevil, Daredevil's life goes to hell, the Kingpin just slowly watches as Matt and Foggy try and come up with some kind of defense. And as Daredevil goes out at night, as Matt goes out as Daredevil at night, he just gets more violent, starts beating the hell out of criminals until one day he's probably in Josie's bar. He beats the living hell out of everybody. And he's like, "Matt Murdock, who's going to talk about Matt?" And, the Kingpin just smiles. He's like, he's actually driven him to this point. He doesn't even know it. And Foggy is doing so much work to try and get Matt off of it. It's pretty cool that the Kingpin says he's such a good lawyer. I'm thinking about putting him on the payroll. I'll offer him a job. And finally, Foggy can't get Matt out of it. He says, "You're brilliant. You kept me out of prison. I've done much to deserve this kind of friendship. And, you know, they shake hands and leave. Matt's like lost his license. He can't practice law. He's probably lost his house. He has, you know, nothing else to do. He may still have his house. He heads home. Of course, we do see our friend Karen Page here. Somebody's there to kill her ass, and she manages to escape. And she hates the fact that when she runs away, the first person she thinks of is Matt Murdock, because she sold his ass out. Terrible.
Dirty.
Yep. So, the notice of foreclosure it's in his jacket pocket. So his house has been foreclosed on, and he's heading towards it. You know, go sleep on his bed one last time, maybe do something else. And he starts to shake, and he's like, "No, it's the pavement." And his house explodes.
Well,
like
on the plus side, at least the bank didn't get it.
At least the bank didn't get it. Damn it. And he says, like, I hear a baby crying. No, it's not a baby. It's sirens and fire trucks. He says, I've been standing here for a while. Firemen take forever to show up. The traffic gets in their way. As the dust is thick, I could choke on it. There's nothing. So you know. So that's why I would have never connected to you. Nothing about this said gangster until this. Was a nice piece of work, Kingpin. You shouldn't have signed it.
And the only thing that survived the blast was his costume.
Yeah, it is a little worse for wear.
It was in a Kevlar trunk.
Yeah,
fireproof, bomb-proof, but he didn't close it, so it's a little singed, but it's still there.
It could be or it could be like the old 60s Daredevil and Fantastic Four comics we used to read when they wore asbestos uniforms because they were fireproof.
I just have to know, how are they not dead already?
Yes.
The whole Marvel universe should be dying from cancer.
Exactly.
They should have died before Deadpool killed the Marvel universe. I don't get it.
Damn it. It's been a long time since I've read it. It's really, really good.
So I read, like, a couple weeks back, I read, like, the first issue.
Yeah.
On my tablet, because I didn't realize it was in the back of the book. So I read that, and then we went on a small hiatus to, and I sat down and I read all but the last issue.
Yeah.
All the way through.
In one sitting.
In one sitting.
Yeah.
And I looked and I go, oh crap, it's 4:00 in the morning.
Damn it.
I started at like 10:30 and I read it like all the way through, and I'm like, I go, oh my God, this is the last issue. And then it turned out to not be the last issue.
Oh, so you read the whole thing. Everything but the first issue.
Everything but the first and the final issue. And the final issue I read like the next day.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Then I went back to that Bronze Age swamp thing, and I've only got one issue left in that book. I've only got issue 13 left in that book. And I read the ones I showed off in the pre-show.
Oh, sweet.
So I've read more comics in like the last week than I have in like the last 2 months.
In the last 2 months. It's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll finish it up. I guess we'll hit the next 2 issues next week.
Yeah. Because we're old and we got to hit the hay because we got to get up in the morning.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So that's going on. Please make sure you head over to Rumble and follow Creators Outlet over on Rumble, where you get to watch replays of this. Also, if you're listening to the audio podcast version, you can go to YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey to find us there as well. So thanks for coming in and tuning it in. Thanks, Stat. Alan and Big John for popping in, and anybody that's listening on the backside. We appreciate you all, and we'll catch you all next week. Boom, boom, boom.